All right, let's talk about it. You just crushed a workout, you're feeling amazing, totally accomplished, and now you're thinking about that cold beer or that nice glass of wine to celebrate. But have you ever stopped to ask what that drink is really doing to the gains you just worked so hard for? Well, we're about to find out. I mean, this is the classic dilemma, right? You are so disciplined all week long, you're hitting your workouts, you're nailing your nutrition. Then Friday night rolls around. Does that one drink, or maybe two, completely sabotage all of your progress? Let's get to the truth. You know what? Let's just cut right to the chase. 37%. That's a real number from the research. It's how much your muscle building process, the very reason you're in the gym, can plummet if you drink alcohol after a workout. Yeah, it's a direct hit, and it's a big one. Okay, so that number probably has you a little concerned. Don't worry, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the muscle building kill switch to see exactly how alcohol slams the brakes on growth. Then we'll dive into the hormonal chaos it creates and how it robs you of recovery. We've also got a really surprising gender difference to talk about, and then we'll get practical with a smart drinking playbook to minimize the damage before we deliver the final long-term verdict. First up, the kill switch. We're going to go microscopic for a second to see precisely how alcohol stops muscle growth right at the source, just moments after your workout. So I want you to meet mTOR. Think of mTOR as the foreman on your body's muscle-building construction site. When you lift weights, you're basically flipping the mTOR switch to on, and that foreman starts yelling orders to build new, stronger muscle. It is literally the master switch for all muscle growth. Now, this foreman, mTOR, doesn't do the heavy lifting itself. No way. It sends out signals to its crew of worker molecules. As soon as mTOR is activated, it tells its key guys, like this one here, to get to work. It's what kickstarts the entire muscle-building assembly line. And here's the big problem. Alcohol, or ethanol, gets into your system and walks right onto that construction site. It doesn't just slow things down a little bit, it goes straight for the foreman. The science is crystal clear on this. Alcohol directly interferes with mTOR signaling, and it flips that master growth switch right back to the off position, just when you need it on the most. And if you want to see the real-world consequences, here they are. This chart is from a landmark study, and it tells the whole story. This first bar, that's your potential. That's your muscle growth with just protein after a workout. Now look what happens when you add alcohol to that protein. Boom, down 24%. And what's even worse? If you have alcohol with carbs instead of protein, that's a staggering 37% drop. You've essentially just erased over a third of your workout's benefit. But here's the part that really gets me. The damage isn't random. Alcohol acts like a sniper. It selectively targets your type 2 or fast twitch muscle fibers. Now, why does that matter so much to you? Because those are the exact fibers that have the most potential for growth, for strength, and for explosive power. They're literally what you are trying to build with resistance training. So alcohol goes right for the jugular of your gains. But it's not just about one molecular switch. Oh no. Alcohol unleashes a nasty 1-2 punch on your progress by creating total hormonal chaos and straight up robbing you of your recovery. I want you to think of your hormones as two opposing teams. On one side, you've got team anabolic. These are your builders, led by testosterone and growth hormone. On the other side, you have team catabolic, the wrecking crew, led by the stress hormone cortisol. After a great workout, you want team anabolic to dominate. But alcohol completely flips the script. It benches your star players by tanking your testosterone and growth hormone while sending in the wrecking crew by jacking up cortisol. It creates the perfect storm for muscle breakdown, not growth. And this sabotage continues right into the 3 pillars of recovery. First, let's talk fuel. Your muscles are screaming for glycogen to refuel after a workout, but alcohol can slash that replenishment by up to 50%. Second, hydration. Alcohol is a diuretic. In simple terms, it makes you pee a lot, leading to cellular dehydration that cripples muscle function. And third, sleep. Sure, it might make you feel sleepy, but it absolutely wrecks your sleep quality, disrupting the deep, restorative stages where all the real repair and growth actually happened. So just when you think the case is closed and alcohol is public enemy number 1, the science throws us a curveball. It turns out the effects of alcohol on muscle might not be the same for everyone. Let's dig into a very surprising gender difference. This right here is a direct finding from the research, and honestly, it's kind of a game changer. Scientists discovered that in women, the same post-workout dose of alcohol did not shut down those key muscle-building signals. For women, that kill switch we talked about, it didn't get flipped. So what on earth is going on here? Well, the leading theory is that estrogen might be acting like a bodyguard from muscle cells. It seems to have a protective, anti-inflammatory effect that shields them from some of alcohol's damage. Okay, now it is absolutely critical that we're all clear on this. This is not a green light for women to drink without any worries. Not at all. While this specific effect on the mTOR signal seems to be blunted, the bigger health risks are definitely not. In fact, for other major issues like alcoholic cardiomyopathy, which is literally damage to your heart muscle, women are often at a higher risk at lower doses of alcohol than men are. Okay, we've laid out all the problems. Now let's talk solutions. Welcome to the Smart Drinking Playbook. This is where we give you the science-backed, practical strategies you can actually use to minimize the damage if you choose to drink. Let's make this simple. The single most important factor is the dose, how much you drink. The science shows a high dose, that's more than 1.5 grams of alcohol per kilogram of your body weight, is where you see significant damage. But a low dose, under 0.5 gram per kilogram, minimal to no measurable effect. For most people, that's about 1 or 2 standard drinks. The amount is everything. So here it is, your actionable 3-step damage control plan. Number 1, mind the dose. Keep it low, under that 0.5 grams per kilogram threshold. Number 2, prioritize protein and water first. Get your recovery shake in, get fully rehydrated before you even think about having a drink. And number 3, create a time buffer. Don't go from your last rep straight to the bar. Give your body at least 4 to 6 hours to get that recovery process started before you introduce alcohol. We've spent a lot of time on the damage from a single night. But what about the cumulative cost? What's the price you pay over months and years? Let's zoom out and look at the long-term verdict. This timeline shows a really eye-opening 2-year study. Researchers tracked a group of people and found a direct link between regular drinking and how fast their strength declined. By the end of just year 1, the regular drinkers were already losing strength faster. By year 2, that gap had grown even wider. The takeaway here is that even small, repeated hits to your recovery really do add up, slowly but surely eroding your strength over the long haul. And we can't forget about body composition. Your body treats alcohol like a toxin, like a poison. It can't store it, so your metabolism literally drops everything else it's doing to get rid of it. And you know what that means? Your fat-burning furnace grinds to a complete halt. While your body is busy dealing with the alcohol, it's not burning fat. And really, to put all of this into the biggest possible context, the World Health Organization made a huge statement last year. They said, when it comes to alcohol consumption, there is no safe amount that does not affect health. That old idea that a little bit might be good for you, it's officially been debunked. From a pure health perspective, less is always, always better. So here we are. You've seen the molecular kill switch, the hormonal chaos, the long-term data. You now have the full scientific picture. So the decision, as always, is yours. Knowing everything that happens inside your body, the only real question left is this: is that drink worth the gains you're giving up? If you found this breakdown useful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the science of fitness.